You are listening to Visionaries Wrestling Network, providing your perfect podcast experience.
Good, bad, good, bad, good, bad, good.
The following episode of Good Cop, Bad Cop was recorded while Matt and Graham were driving back from New York City to Washington to take Matt to the airport. Hope you guys enjoy. We're out of here.
Good. Bad.
That's something that I kind of put together. Sometimes we'll go like you go, I got like 10. Because you'll think of when you're right down, and there's others one when literally it's like, we got 5 minutes before we record. Or we had one when you said, I don't have anything, give me a minute, I'm going to think of one right now. It just depends how you get
Half an hour.
But it actually gives me a genuine smile moment when I think of one. I'm like, oh my god, that's going to make a great devil's advocate for Matt. And sometimes you just know that they're going to... For me, I'm not sure. I know that the sign from the Star Wars sign is like, defend this. That's definitely a classic one. For me, the one that made me laugh the most when I thought of it was Velveteen Dream.
Velveteen Dream should be called up to the main roster, but should be forced to use his initials only.
Because he'd just come out with promote me Vince or something on his...
Call me up, Vince.
Call me up, Vince. So it was like to put him back in his place a little bit. He should only go back. Yeah, things like that tickle me when they...
Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
It's such a fun show to put together with things like that.
It is. Something else that stands out is that you were talking about... Episode 6, obviously, which is my debut. It was a great when you actually mentioned like Matt's the most patient person in the world. I think you'll find that after he has, I'm not.
Talking about things that you just can't predict how it's going to work. Sitting with a microphone with a young 4-year-old Jackson, looking through wrestling pictures. We killed an hour on a rainy day. That I will treasure for forever. And when he's older and I'll play those back to him,
he'll either laugh or he'll cringe, one of the two.
He'll be one or the two, but either way, I'm glad I got that documented. And I can never recreate that. Now he's 5, and you can just tell from his 2 or 5-year-old live podcast he's developing. I'll never get that same thing. It would be similar. It would probably make for a better quiz, but it wouldn't be as entertaining.
No way. I mean, it still makes me laugh. I think it was Nikki Bella. Nikki Bella. When he described Nikki Bella. I apologise in advance, Jackson. I'm not going to do you justice for my voice at this rate. He has things like Mommy has.
Exactly.
I'm like, fantastic.
Brilliant.
Fantastic.
Right. To hear how his 4-year-old mind worked was just fantastic. He prioritised what he thought was important. He phrased it in the words that he knew, and
I like the fact he pointed out her buoyancy aids, like a better term.
Yes.
Jesus.
But no, classic episode. But,
Jackson, we love you, and we love you being a part of our show. Good Cop, Bad Cop would not be as fun without you. It would be fun, but it wouldn't be as fun without you.
Absolutely not. And he loves doing it.
And I know that must really irritate Mason.
It does. He's got more podcasts than Mason.
It must irritate Mason so much, because Mason's appeared once or twice.
Yeah.
He gets mentioned a lot. He does get a few mentions.
He gets mentioned for sure.
He gets mentioned for sure. But yeah, Mason took my chair for 1 week. I haven't forgiven you for that still, Bagshaw.
That was a great episode.
And he gave me a very good devil's advocate once. But aside from that, and he also took me on a quiz against Jackson. But apart from that, 3 appearances then.
Yeah.
3 appearances in 35 for Mason. Jackson's been on, well, I'd say 25 at least.
At least. Yeah. I guess it's not been as much since we did the Degrees of Kevin Steen.
Yeah.
Because then we don't use him on that week. But
yeah, and before you start texting in Matt Attack Army, we're not including the good, bad parts, okay?
I guess he's... Well, in that case, yeah, I guess Mason does feature every week.
Good. Bad.
Of course, it would be a bad cop moment if you didn't take this chance to visit our sponsors, Power Slam TV. Head over there now to get thousands of hours of the best independent wrestling content. Use the code GoodCopBadCop for 30 days free.
Are you tired of the same old pro wrestling? Then check out the amazing action on Powerslam.tv, the biggest indie pro wrestling channel in the world. Get over 3,000 hours of the best pro wrestling events from over 100 of the biggest names in the industry from over 15 countries around the globe. Get your free trial today at Powerslam.tv.
Good. Bad.
How did you become a Liverpool fan, Graham?
I became a Liverpool fan because of my uncle, really.
Fair enough.
He was he was a Liverpool fan. I used to watch on TV, and they were obviously really good. And my first memory is probably early 80s, probably 82, I think it was. And yeah, they were superb at that time. Like, what's not to like about people like Kenny Dalglish, Graham Souness, Alan Hansen, Ian Rush? Probably 83. Was Ian Rush 83? I'm trying to remember when he came.
He was 80, yeah.
But yeah, actually I think he signed in 81. So yeah, it was just a great team to watch. And my uncle being a big fan, and I didn't have a brother or a sister. He's close to me in age. I'm not sure, but I think he's 6 years older than me.
Yeah.
So he was kind of like a big brother, and with him supporting them as well, then that was kind of the motivation for me following them.
Yeah.
So, and I always stuck with them, even though they've had their down periods as well.
That's one thing Rude Hullet always used to say. Rude Hullet used to say, you change anything in your life, you can change your house, change your car, change your wife if you want, you don't change the football team.
Now, we'll talk, as you just mentioned Rude Hullet, the connection's not going to be obvious to you right now. When we're in New York, and I'm trying to remember why. Oh, we talked about a little bit, the skyline. And I didn't even recognise the new World Trade Center, or Freedom Tower, whatever it's called, because it looked so small.
It didn't, Waffle House.
And then we talked about I wasn't going to stop here. Are you hungry again? Man, you could eat. We literally stopped less than an hour and a half ago. And you're hungry already?
Well, no, but we talked about Waffle House, didn't we?
We did talk about Waffle House. There's more Waffle Houses.
That's fine. I'm not hungry again yet.
I have one in mind where we can stop.
That's fine.
In Lower Maryland. We just entered Maryland a few hours ago. We're at Havre de Grace right now. I sort of know. I travel up and down here all the time, so I kind of know this.
That's fine.
Well.
That's fine. Let's carry on.
So it was talked about, like, we linked in Father Ted, because you said I wasn't expecting you to mention Father Ted in New York. It was the scene where it's like, dear, far away. And I knew I got the giggle at that point.
And then our friend Phil actually mentioned it on Facebook.
He mentioned it as well, which reinforced it. So how am I circling this back to Rude Hullet?
God knows.
Do you know?
God knows.
Oh, okay. So we watched. Mel likes Father Ted as well. So when it's Christmas, I like to watch the English Christmas specials, because you don't get those in America.
No.
So yeah, they have their own. Ooh, geez, this guy here has no idea what he's doing.
This guy's going to play some News Hamilton.
All right, I'm going to hold on a second before I finish this story. All right, looks like he's figured out what he's doing now. I kind of want to go inside, but I hate undertaking. All right, he's going to move out the way. Thank you. Why you're in the middle lane when you can't even drive? I have no idea.
Looks like he's got a wrecked car on the back, covered by the thinnest top I've ever seen in my life. So
the Christmas episode was Dougal's opening his advent calendar, and then he's like, "Oh, Ted, can't believe it! It's like it's I don't know, an angel with some stars or something."
Uh-huh.
And he's like all surprised, and he's like, "Oh, this guy is killing me."
He will
literally
mate.
in a second, possibly. And he's like, I wonder what I'll be there tomorrow, Ted. And he's like, are you going to change your guess from what you said earlier? And he's like, what did I guess? He's like, Rude Hullet sitting on a shed with, I don't even know what the other part was. It's like the most random thing. Rude Hullet in an advent calendar. I'm sure Mel has no idea who Rude Hullet is.
Sexy football.
Exactly.
Sexy football.
But yeah.
Yeah, Rude Hullet, great. But yeah, obviously that's how you became a Liverpool fan, and obviously from that. Uh-huh. Mine's way less interesting, but I didn't become a sports fan until 96 when Mum and Dad got divorced. Mm-hmm. We weren't allowed to watch sport at all growing up. I think I told you that.
Yeah, you told me, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I started, the first thing I saw was Euro 96. Unbelievable event that was.
Yeah.
And then I still didn't get into football much. And then the World Cup came around 2 years later, of course, and I started getting more into football then. And I was like, this is fantastic, obviously. And then Michael Owen scores that goal. The goal against Argentina, which is probably down as one of the greatest World Cup goals of all time, still. Mm-hmm. And I was like, and my brother, who's an Arsenal fan, he says, you've got to pick a football team. If you're going to watch football, you've got to pick a football team. Yeah. Everyone said that. Chris doesn't. Chris watches football, happens to watch it, one particular team. He refuses point blank.
That's a minority right there.
Absolutely.
Most people do.
Absolutely. But arguably sensible. It's good. So tribal sometimes. So I was like, well, Michael Owen scored a great goal. I'm going to support every team he plays for.
Oh, okay.
And so I became a Liverpool fan.
You could have been so easily been a Manchester United fan, depending on the time.
Yeah. Well, at that point, Roy Evans and Jean Houllier were co-managers. That never works. Never works. However, Michael Owen, in 2004, moved to Real Madrid. And I was like, don't change the football team, obviously. You stick with who it is. So I stayed a Liverpool fan. But yeah, I still find it ironic. Michael Owen moved on to win the Champions League, he said. That year, Liverpool won the Champions League. I still find the irony of that unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Yeah, football's a very messy business sometimes.
It's one of those things where I'll never change. I'm always going to support Liverpool. I follow Chesterfield's results as well, because that's my hometown, and I always have a soft spot for that team as well, and it breaks my heart how bad they are right now. And anyway, that's neither here nor there. And I think most people in England, you have one team, that's it. And it's true over here. Like, if you ask somebody, like, who's your football team? They'll say Patriots, Redskins. They'll have just one team. With me not having that same sort of loyalty, because I didn't move to America until I was 25.
Yeah.
So I don't have that same loyalty. Like, if you ask me my football team, it's the Dolphins. There's no doubt about it. But Panthers, because I lived in Carolina for 2 years, I still follow their results. My school, their nickname's the Panthers as well, so I have that association. Like, I live in Washington, so I tend to follow their results as well a little bit. I love Green Bay as well. I loved Brett Favre when I was in England, and it's just not quite the same. I don't follow the results as passionately. Or if you ask me for hockey, Hurricanes, because that's, once again, Carolina. Washington Capitals, because I'm in that area. I follow the Bruins now as well, because I'm a big Red Sox fan. And it's kind of different. I don't have that same... Actually, my license plate is love MLB. I love baseball. Like, I follow the Red Sox closely. I follow the Braves in the other division. We don't have that in England. When we talk about different divisions, you're talking about tiers, right?
Yeah.
Here, they run parallel to each other. So there's like 6 divisions, but they all run alongside each other, depending on geography. So it's it's a little different. But yeah, no, I have different loyalty to teams here. People don't understand that. Like, how can you support more than one team? Like, I just like sport. It's different for wrestling. You don't just like one wrestler, right? I know you like Finn. That's not the only person you like, though, right?
Absolutely. I mean, I popped for Kofi last night.
Correct.
I popped for Seth.
Yeah. And I think that I can't think of though another. And I know it's sports entertainment, but it is kind of different where people can like more than one person. I guess it's because it's slightly different in nature, but you can have a favourite tag team, you can have a favourite women's wrestler, you can have a favourite, and even within the same thing, you can have different categories. Like, you can still like Finn Balor and like Randy Orton. There's no reason why you can't like more than one person.
Absolutely.
But I think in wrestling, you admire the characteristics of the wrestler. You admire their skill set. You admire their ability to perform under a different persona. People like Jericho. Like, you can like Jericho and you can admire him for all the way he keeps reinventing himself as well. You can admire him for more than just his actual craft of wrestling and his character that he keeps putting together. So
I'm gonna ask you that. Is Jericho one of the greatest of all time because of the way he reinvented himself? But when he also then you add, look at Jericho. He's changed. He's adapted over the years to be relevant. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
When that music gets break the walls down, obviously the crowd pop because it's always that version of Jericho, whatever it comes me out.
Yeah.
Austin, glass breaks, drinks
Iconic.
beer, hasn't changed in 25 years.
No. But he doesn't. I don't think he needs to.
I know, but that just goes that.
Yeah.
I know, but that you can can apply the same with the music.
There's more than one way of doing this business, and I think that's what's so cool about it.
Same thing for any business, in my opinion.
It's true. There's more than one, and you need those differences, and that's what keeps it entertaining. Like, I know The Undertaker had American BA as well, so that's kind of, I don't know why we can say badass on this one, right?
Yeah.
That's an American. We stole that from a podcast. We thought that was hilarious that they went so PG that they didn't even say badass, they said BA. Mason still says it sometimes, which I think
BA
is really
Billy
cute.
Gunn.
Which is, yes. So, I lost my track of thought. Oh, yeah, so Undertaker. If I think Undertaker personally, I don't really remember the American Badass one. I'm just thinking of Dead Guy.
It's the one that you watched at some of the
Correct.
2000.
It's the one that's more relevant to me. And then when I start coming back again, he's the same character again. So he got away with it for a long time as well. I think it depends. As long as the crowd still enjoy it, I don't think it matters. But I think certain people, once it becomes boring, you do something different. Or if you don't, you live by the sword and you die by the sword.
Absolutely.
So some people have got to, you got to change that.
I mean,
gimmick.
apply it to music, there's two straight away. Put in mind, we've got Madonna, always reinventing herself all the time.
Yep.
Pink, has she once, really? Not really. Not massively.
I don't think so. Yeah, not
And
as far as I know.
who's arguably more popular? Pink, arguably. Nowadays.
Madonna?
Nowadays.
Currently probably.
Madonna's doing absolutely everything she can to stay relevant.
Mm-hmm.
Lady, retire.
It doesn't always work, and I'm not quite sure right now, and I don't think she really cares that much, but Katy Perry, like, she's now, I can't remember what her name, whatever her real name is, she tends to bring that character out on social.
The former Mr. Brown, I call her.
She tends to bring those characters, and I don't think she's as interested in being the pop icon that she was, but she's probably mid-30s now as well, so she probably doesn't care. So, it's sometimes, but that's probably more from her own choosing, that she wanted to write her own songs and sing about things that are personal to her, and hey, you got to do what makes you happy as well.
Absolutely.
That's another thing as well. That's a big factor in all this stuff. You can do that stuff and absolutely hate it. And I know I love REM. That's one of my big groups. That's one of my one of my top 5 all times.
Everybody hurts sometimes. But you want to know?
But their album Out of Time, they hated that because it was put together for them as a pop album, and that's not what they were at all. But that's probably their most famous album. Like, if you talk about Losing My Religion and songs like that.
That was REM.
Which song?
Losing My Religion. That was REM.
That was REM.
Couldn't have told you that.
Yeah.
I always thought that was someone else.
Yeah, no, that's REM. And I don't like that song particularly that much. That's probably one of their most famous songs, but for me, it's not my favorite.
But that's why I don't such REM. Because it doesn't sound like REM.
No, and compared to their other albums, no, it's way out there. Their song that they hate, but I actually like, Shiny Happy People. The boys love that song. I love that song, but it's not an REM song, really. But they weren't happy with that. And that's why they threw away some money in the end, because they wanted to write what they wanted to write about.
Some songs just don't fit with some people, do they?
No, and they said that was not they didn't write that. It was something made for the radio. I love the song personally, but they never performed that.
For example, you know a song like Toxic, right, by Britney Spears? You've heard it?
Yeah. Oh, Benjamin Banks is listening. He'll get he'll get some more stuff in his
That song was not written for her.
Oh, it wasn't?
No, it was rejected by someone.
That sounds possible.
Kylie rejected it.
Oh, I see.
Kylie Minogue rejected Toxic, and it became Britney Spears' song.
I remember
and
that.
I think that Kylie was right to reject it. I don't think it would fit with her.
Yeah, we got to mention our boy Benjamin Banks.
Absolutely.
You can do some promotional stuff as well. But I know on the well, you can talk about your episode in a second.
Yeah.
But I know at the start, because I listened to it, because I said I'm not a Power Rangers person, but I'll listen to it. And he talked wrestling at the start as well.
Half an hour as well. Yeah.
He said that he suddenly got Britney Spears in his head, and he was singing Britney Spears songs. And then, literally within 24 hours, as we're walking around Jersey City, we see outside a coffee shop, "Sip Me Baby One More Time." So I made sure I tagged him.
And then he had it back in his head at the gym.
He had it in his head, and I thought that was kind of funny.
Good. Bad.
That's it for this week, guys. Me and Graham will be back next week. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Wrestlemania Road Diary. On behalf of us both, we're out of here.
music was Happy Happy Game Show by Kevin MacLeod at Incompetech.com. Licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0. http://creativecommons.org/licenses/by/3.0/
You are